He was in college, and they got a baby on the way, and they had to make some plans. And it was the beginning of our third record, and we had pretty much figured out now who we were and where we fit in. And so then I started talking more about telling stories. And so it was, that was my part of the collaboration. I want to tell these stories, and this is a story I'm living right now. What's your contribution about? And then we went on. But yeah, the names were changed to protect the innocent. But the funny thing is that you know, when we mentioned those names again in It's My Life, that was a Richie thing. He wanted to do that, and he wanted to bring them back and immortalize them. We did it. I wasn't really in favor of it, but I won the line in It's My Life, like Frankie said, I did my way about Sinatra, so that was sort of a compromise there. You wouldn't believe these conversations. I tried to bribe him with food. Used to do other things. Oh, thank God, he's doing good. But those are the kinds of conversations we have, you know, how we make it universal.
But that makes a partnership then, doesn't it? Because then suddenly we're going to have another song now, but how do you get from these stoic anthems and these storytelling things to an album like Lost Highway, that completely goes in another direction?
It did, and what happened, with every record we were trying, and especially, let's take this decade, we were trying to find themes that were going on out there in the world. We came back, I came back from shooting U-571 in Rome and Malta in 1990. Well, thanks. We came back and we wrote It's My Life for Crush, and Just Older, and some of the other things that were on that record. I was telling us the story about where we were at the time, but It's My Life, this was me coming home and saying, damn it, I'm going to make movies when I want. I'm going to tell you guys when I want to make movies. Like Frank Sinatra said, I did it my way. It's my life. Who knew that people were going to take that song and say, oh, no, it's my life. You know, it's my life. Actors made it their end. Soldiers made it their end. People in the audience here made it their end. It was their song.
So is it a case of the truth will set you free? You're willing to put yourself on the line, and people respond to that?
Again, it's that responsible optimism, but nonetheless, those are the storylines and those kinds of songs. So anyhow, that was Crush. Then there was Bounce shortly after 9/11. And Undivided, Bounce, specific to what was happening after 9/11. Of course, we all know here in New York how important that day is in the history of America, how tragic it was, how we'll never get over that, how I'm still grateful to the family, police, community, people, still to the souls that we lost, to the family, to the stuff. But I'm leading up to a point that I'm making. There was a couple songs on that record. Have a Nice Day was shortly after the election in 2004, the re-election of the Bush administration, and very Jersey, it says, have a nice day. See the attorney, curse my name. Again, a day, a moment in time. When we started to think about Lost Highway, all of those things had already happened. You look around and there wasn't a lot to write about, and you said, I know what we haven't written about. We haven't internalized. And when I looked at what Richie was going through, when I looked what Dave was going through, what I know Tico had already been through, there was our subject matter, compounded by the fact that I wanted to go to Nashville, and it's been such a great influence for me. It's such a lot of fun to go down there. It's such a great music city for songwriting and songwriters, and it's a cool place to go visit. But anyhow, we go down to Nashville. Now, for all of our hardcore lunatic fans who are here tonight, don't lie. Every one of you said, he's doing a country record. You hate it. You hated when I said I was going to do it. But it was misconceived as going, that you thought I was going to make a George Strait and Alan Jackson. That I was going to come back, you know, and do pure, guess what, I want country. Yeah. Okay, my mistake. I was too excited again. I went down there and I made a bunch of the influence. record. So there was all sorts of situations in here at the time, and we needed that focus, and so we wrote that record. I'm going to digress and play Lost Highway in a minute, but then what happened with this record, and why I cite one or two songs on Bounce, one or two songs on Crush, one or two songs on Have a Nice Day, why is this album so different? Is because this wasn't a day or just that one moment, but this was the last 9 months. This world has changed dramatically, both the economics, the presidential election, but this world has changed forever. And that's how the circle came to be. And again, I'll play one follow in a little while, but that's what happened there. So every record tells a piece of your life and your life. So if you like, I'll play Lost Highway.
Yeah, just before you get there, because it'll lead to songs later on, it backs up the point that I've said to you often before. When you go with your deeper instincts and I want to do it this way and that way, you sometimes come up with works of genius, and sometimes do you feel responsible to what they expect and what gets the biggest reaction?
Can't do that. If I wanted to just appease the fan base, and I don't read the blogs, and I don't read the fan clubs, and I don't read any of that stuff on purpose. What? Because you guys would be telling me that I don't like the shoes. I would be very self-conscious because I like those shoes. The truth of the matter is, if I'm ever going to say something, I can't let it be based on what other people want me to say. I can craft a song. There's craft songs, those aren't the ones that we play anymore. If you do a song like that, it doesn't resonate. So we learned after 2 records, this song's a massive classic. After the first 2 records, we really truly realized that the best thing to do was be us. Come home, don't chase anybody else, just don't do your own thing.
Which is what brought us Lost Highway. Let's hear it.